I'm going to make him wait for the opening too.
Oh, yeah, that'll work out well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, we'd have been here probably 15 minutes ago if my computer wasn't a dick.
Computer.
You know, I thought I was actually pushing it a little bit because normally I try to give us about half an hour and I gave us 45 minutes. And often when that happens, I end up distracted. I end up over on Twitter arguing with a moron or something like that and end up, even half an hour later than when I scheduled it for. Not late, never late, guys, but later. So I thought, maybe, well, fuck it, we'll do it. We'll do it at 12:30. And turns out I didn't give myself quite enough time.
I think you gave yourself too much time because that's now time for things to go wrong.
Oh, man. I had to reset my computer twice just to get it to recognize my microphone. It's pissing me off. But that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're here to talk about. How you doing tonight, Jack?
Oh, usual bullshit. Weather here sucks donkey cock, but
Oh, dude, yeah, we have the blizzard going on. Michigan is getting dumped on, and if you've seen maps of how this storm is, we're in like the worst area of Michigan for it.
Yeah, I saw that. I was looking at the map, and I was like, "Oh my god, monkey's getting killed."
And in fairness, if you look at that map, I mean, it's like the entire lower southwest corner of southwest part, not just the corner, but the southwest part of Michigan. So it's not like I'm doxing myself. I'm on the west coast of Michigan, guys. It's horrible and it's cold, and I don't like. It looks really pretty through the window, as long as you don't have to go out there or actually deal with it. It's a really heavy snow that's falling here, and they're worried about like power outages and shit. Yay. That's what you want in the middle of winter, Jack, is the power to go out.
Oh shit. I was telling my sister we gotta get my parents some extra blankets and stuff, and she said, "Why, they have an electric blanket?" I said, "Yeah, the power might go out." Oh, I didn't think of that. You didn't think about that? You know our luck.
Well, electric blankets still work. They just don't work as well without electricity.
They work a whole lot better as intended with it.
All you gotta do is hook a AA battery up to it.
Yeah, that'll work. That won't start a fire.
Besides that, I mean, we have poor Oklahoma got hit with a couple of little earthquakes tonight.
Yeah, Amberlyn Reed fell down.
That's probably what happened. They weren't major earthquakes. I think the biggest one I saw was a 4.2, which is nothing to sneeze at, but most of them were like 2.3 and 3.5.
Yeah.
Still concerning that there's some seismic activity going on. I haven't heard of any casualties or anything, so it's mostly just going to be property damage and shit, which sucks for those folks. But I'm glad people are safe.
Yeah, absolutely. But we have something more important than earthquakes. Sorry, Oklahoma. You guys are awesome and all. First of all, hi, Stargazer. How you doing? And second of all, we have a birthday.
Whose birthday?
Target,
it's your birthday. And around here we do this. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Target. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. Really, really do.
Absolutely. Hi, Dixie.
I just got brain broke a little bit. Because for those of you who are still on Thursday time, this is my brother's birthday, my older brother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was a long, long time ago. But anytime it comes to my attention, there's just that moment where you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah. And you realize how long it's been.
Yeah. It's been, how old am I? 48? It's been 34 years.
Monkey's so old he doesn't even remember his birthday. Oh, it's Corey's birthday too?
Corey, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Corey.
Dear Corey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. Hope you had a good one. Really, really do. Yeah, my brother would have turned 51 yesterday.
Oh.
I think of that, and everybody talks about, so and so's kid is this old now. Doesn't that make you feel old? Sometimes, but my older brother, who wasn't that much older than me, should have been turned 51. That one makes me feel kind of old. Like my brother would have been passing the half-century mark, which means I'm really close to the half-century mark.
Yeah, my brother died at 51.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, weird.
We're like parallel families, except for I'm the middle child.
Yeah, I'm not.
Now you're the baby. You're the one who got everybody in trouble all the time.
Probably. Yeah, I'd say that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
More often than not.
After we get to be adults, we forgive our little brothers, but y'all were little jackasses.
Well, yeah. Got me off the hook more often than not. But I'm not the baby anymore because my brother got married and his wife is younger than me.
That doesn't count.
Yes, it does. No, I'm counting it.
That's not how it works.
Yes, it is. Works that way now.
There's got to be genetic material there, and we're not talking about the Nikki Haley kind.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm sure he left some genetic material in there.
And that's why I preempted you. Ha ha ha.
I know.
Speaking of ha ha ha, let's talk about Nikki Haley.
Oh, yeah?
So yesterday, Jack, it was all over Twitter because Rand Paul...
It was all over. Oh, that's not where I thought you were going with that.
No. Rand Paul, who I'm kind of a fan of around here.
Yeah, I like Rand Paul.
We're gonna watch a video of his. Now I gotta warn you, because of the blizzard, I'm not even going to try Starlink. I was having trouble just surfing the internet, so it's gonna be choppy, y'all. Shut up, you'll be fine. And wait, is this the right? I want to make sure I get the right video because he had a couple. You know what? Let's just watch his follow-up video. He said he had a video that was going to, he said he hadn't really said anything about the Republican primary. He'd been quiet on it, but he had a big announcement he was going to make. And everybody was like, oh my God, who's Rand Paul going to, who's he going to endorse? Is he going to endorse Trump or DeSantis? Those were the two. I thought if he was going to endorse anybody, it'd be Ramaswamy. There was some talk about maybe RFK, because the day before he'd had a meeting in his office with RFK Jr. And he said, hey, we have some things in common, like the vaccine stuff. But everybody was expecting an announcement. It was odd that nobody thought he was going to endorse Nikki. And there's a reason for that, apparently, because instead of an announcement of who he's endorsing, he made an announcement of who he's not endorsing.
Oh, before you do that, can you pin the links at the top of the chat?
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
So remember to hit the like button, share it on your social media, subscribe if you haven't.
Instead of I have never seen this before. I mean, I guess we had some never Trumpers, but I don't think I've seen this kind of bitch slap, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Or the words I'm looking for.
I think it'd be cunt punt.
Cunt punt. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. As I told you yesterday, I'm ready to say something about the presidential race. I've had a long relationship with Donald Trump, and there's a lot to like there. I'm also a big fan of a lot of the fiscal conservatism of Ron DeSantis. I think Vivek Ramaswamy has been an important voice. Also have listened to and met with the independent Bobby Kennedy. I'm not yet ready to make a decision, but I am ready to make a decision on someone who I cannot support. So I'm announcing this morning that I'm Never Nikki. And if you go to nevernikki.net, you can let her know that you're not a supporter either.
So the other day during the debate, we keep hearing DeSantisLies.com, DeSantisLies.com. Ron Paul went out there and made a fucking website to tell Nikki Haley to fuck off.
It is hilariously ironic.
I have never seen anything like this in politics before. That shit is, and remember, it's nevernikki.net, not .com. I don't know if there is a .com, but
somebody probably already got that one, just like NikkiLies.com.
He just came out and smacked the shit out of this bitch. And if you go over to the website, which I did, of course, you can read all about why he doesn't like her, and he's got really good points. We'll go through his tweet thread in a minute where he lays it all out. But I'm sorry about the wind, guys. They didn't have a windsock on their microphone when they're recording this, but let's hear a little more from our guy Rand.
I don't think any informed or knowledgeable libertarian or conservative should support Nikki Haley. I've seen her attitude towards our interventions overseas. I've seen her involvement in the military-industrial complex, $8 million being paid to become part of the team. But I've also seen her indicate that she thinks you should be registered to use the internet, that people posting ideas anonymously. I think she fails to understand that our republic was founded upon people like Ben Franklin, Sam Adams, Madison, John Jay, and others who posted routinely for fear of the government. They posted routinely anonymously.
I like that he said posted instead of wrote.
Yeah. You can tell he's been on the internet a lot.
Ben Franklin was up on the Twitter machine anonymously. He was ranting Frank. So, you know what? I said we were going to read through his Twitter thread, but he basically says it all right here, and he's not wrong about any of it. She's 100% for censorship. She's 100%. Well, she doesn't say it's for censorship. It's just so we know who you are.
Know who to hold responsible for their fucking vile hate speech.
This bitch wants war. Maybe she's just trying to prove she's like the men, but she is a war-hawking motherfucker.
Oh, she hasn't met a war that she doesn't like.
She'll tell you she's not. She even says this with Ukraine. She's like, no, I think we should give them money so that we don't go to war.
Faithless said, 4 wars, more whore.
Oh, Nikki has ignored this, by the way, because of course she did.
That's probably a good move, actually, because she has a habit of stepping in it when she does that, when she responds. Like, I have ammunition in my heels or whatever.
Over on the Streamlabs, 1 second here. Thank you, Spartan John, for that feminist $12.
Woo.
Got you and Jack to get me through a Blizzard midnight shift. Appreciate it. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, dude, you're at work. That sucks. I'm sorry, man. Hang in there. You'll get through it.
I'd rather
do what
be
we can to help.
If I was, still in working shape, I'd rather be at work during a blizzard. I don't want to drive home in it. But the work always tends to have at least better power supplies and stuff.
It depends on your line of work.
True. But like when I worked at Walmart, if the power went out and we were stuck in a blizzard, I knew I wouldn't starve.
That's true.
There was food all over that place.
When I worked security was the worst because I'd have to drive around in the truck to the various properties and go in, walk inside the buildings and check on the employees because I was a lieutenant. And so I was a rover. And then I'd have to make sure everything was okay in their building, do a lap, come back and drive over to the next facility. And it sucked balls. Middle of February, driving through shitty weather in a city. You got city drivers, of course, and I worked midnight, so they're all fucking drunk. Oh, it was awful. Roads are bad, drivers are bad and stupid. No, nothing good came of that. I hated it. If you're on the road at all, John, I am so sorry. Speaking of which, thank you, Spartan John, for that feminist donation. Hey, Jack, thanks for the entertainment. Hope things are going well for you. Oh, they're about the same, but I hope you're doing well.
I forgot to woohoo for the feminist donation. Woohoo!
Woo!
Thank you for the feminist donations, guys. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Here in Michigan, something weird happens. At the beginning of every major snow, the first major snow we get, everybody drives like they've never driven in snow before. Every fucking year. And the same goddamn people. And then about halfway through, they're like, man, people don't drive well in this shit.
Well, you're in Michigan and nobody drives well to begin with.
That's true. I will not take claim to the worst drivers. We do have the worst roads, but the worst drivers, my money's honestly got to go to Chicago.
Ooh, Chicago's a good one. Chicago and Los Angeles are both really bad. New York's kind of shit, but they're real hit and miss because if you're in stop and go traffic a lot or if you're on the freeway, it really does matter.
Thank you, Hoko, who says Vivek seems to watch you. He says everything you do. That's because he's a smart man.
Yeah, he's obviously a very wise and learned man with spectacular taste.
And Snubber, thank you, says that's not Michigan, that's Illinois too. It's pretty much anywhere that has a snow season rather than just a snow once in a while. The drivers get retarded at the beginning of each new snow season. Yeah. I don't know why. And here in Michigan, it's not like we get to, you know what I think it is, Jack? I think I just figured it out. Because normally we can't just fly down the highway because you might hit a pothole. And when the snow fills in those potholes, it's the first time we actually have flat ground to drive on. And so we're just trying to get as fast as everyone else. And the rest of the country, I don't know why the hell y'all drive bad in the snow. But anyway, speaking of wrecks, let's go back to this here.
Before we do, quick anecdote. My buddy Pat, we used to hang out together a lot before I moved. He got stuck in Atlanta when they had that big ice storm like 10 years ago. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And it shut down everything. And he's from Ohio, so he was like, hey, let's go driving. So they went out to eat. And it's completely dead. And he's like, people were walking like they'd never seen ice. They're like, what is this? What is this? He said it was one of the funniest things. People were just falling down. People driving all over the place. It was mass chaos. And he's like, yeah, it was just like a normal weekend in Cleveland.
I don't fuck with ice.
I don't either.
Retro, thank you. Hey, I gifted a sub and it didn't pop up. YouTube sucks. Thank you for the 7 month for you, and thank you for the gifted sub. I'm sorry it didn't pop up. And to whoever it went to, congratulations. Retro, did it tell you who it went to? But thank you for the donation, dude, and thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. Now, ice is, I'll drive in snow. Snow doesn't bother me. I prefer if it's not coming down. When my daughter was born, the night my wife went into labor, the hospital we went to was 40 miles away. And the snow was falling so fast and furious that it looked like when the Millennium Falcon jumps to hyperspeed.
Yeah, we get that a lot too.
And yeah, it was, it sucked.
I call it hyper snow.
I did make that 40-minute drive in less than 15, though. So part of that might have been my problem, too.
I would say you had a roll.
It was my first baby, dude.
Yeah, that's understandable. Plus, you're young, and younger people tend to drive a little reckless.
Yeah, so anyhow, Wait, no, maybe that was my son, because she was born more in the day. He was born at night. Either way, it sucked, and I drove fast, and that probably made it worse. Anyway.
And I think her failure to really understand that, or to think that you should register through the government somehow for the internet, is something that should disqualify her in the minds of all libertarian-leaning conservatives. So I'm announcing today, I'm Never Nikki. You can go to nevernikki.net and sign up and show her that you're Never Nikki also.
I was really hoping that Rand Paul would come out and endorse anybody but Trump, not because of anything against Trump. I just wanted to watch Trump supporters like Laura Loomer call Rand Paul a rhino, because that would have been funny as hell, but this was funnier. He didn't pull any punches, just straight up nevernikki.net. Travis Gardner, thank you. It is only going to be 12 here tomorrow, but with a very cold wind chill. Ooh, what are you, in Chicago? Be careful. That's when the MAGA Republicans come out to beat up people who ate at Subway.
It has to be below 0 or they don't come out. It's just they're like droggers or snow demons.
Wasn't that what it was? It was 12 degrees in Chicago, but it was like minus 30 with the wind chill.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something so ludicrous.
Yeah, you got to be careful with Subway is all I'm saying, all right? Be careful if you get Subway tomorrow and it's that cold. I don't know what our weather actually is. I haven't been outside, Jack, because I don't want to. I did go out yesterday. I had to get cigarette stuff, and it sucked. But I warmed up the van before I got into it. Isn't that such a nice feature in cars? auto start. Oh, when I first heard of auto start, I'm like, how fucking lazy can you be? And now I don't get in my car without it. It's summertime and I'm turning that bitch on.
My first thought was, that's incredibly lazy. I want one. But I never got one. None of my cars are worth the cost of installation.
Well, like I said, I mean, the last several cars I've had have been gifts from my father-in-law, and he buys the best for himself.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, don't blame him on that one.
Thank you, Travis. Oklahoma City, well, Edmond, but very cold. I sent one more before the snow. Oh, damn. I'll have to check that out. Sorry it didn't pop up for me. What is going on with donations tonight? Are these platforms just trying to screw us?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
Travis,
I kind of expect that with YouTube.
Travis, thanks so much. The earthquake knocked pictures off my wall and shook my deck. Thought the house was hit by a car. Epicenter was 7 miles from me. Damn. I've only been in one. We can get Rand off the screen. As much as I like laughing at Nikki, there's not much more to that story.
Yeah.
Other than I've only been in one earthquake, and believe it or not, it was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I lived in California.
A couple of minor ones, but
I lived in California, and when we were there, never felt one. I mean, we were in Southern California, where it's not as common, like San Diego, where I was born. It's not as common as like LA and stuff, but still, you'd expect it more there than Michigan. We were sitting at work one day, and suddenly just stuff started shaking a little bit. Nothing. It was not a major earthquake. I forget where the epicenter was. I want to say it was close to Ohio. It was down near the border.
Yeah, it sounds like something we'd do.
Yeah, it's you guys' fault.
It was Ohio, like subconsciously trying to shift Toledo back to Michigan. Like, no, we may have won the war, but you can have it again. It's okay.
Shake that shit off. Shake it out. The devastation I felt that day, Jack, was a joke. All over Twitter and social media, people were like, I survived the great earthquake, and it would be like a chair knocked over. It didn't even knock over chairs. That's how light it was. I saw one picture on somebody's desk fall over, and that's just because they had it really close to a ledge. But yeah. I've been in an earthquake in NYC. Really? I didn't know NYC had earthquakes. I don't know where all the tectonic plates are, Jack. I don't pay attention to that much science.
All sorts of weird ones. Like when I was in college, we found out that the college was on a fault line because there was a mild earthquake. It was like enough to like make your glass shake a little bit. And that was a major one, but it's largely a dormant quake line. Not like the New Madrid fault line that runs through Tennessee, which will probably decimate most of the state. So, and Missouri, and probably, I think there's 5 states connected to the New Madrid fault line. That it hasn't happened in a long, long time, but that thing could have like a 7 or 8. It's like a secret San Andreas.
I lived through a tornado in 2000. I technically lived through one, although not really, Jack. We had a storm come through a couple of years ago, and I don't live that far from a highway, and it's lined with trees, and it's lined specifically with pine trees. And after the storm, it looked like, you know that scene in Spaceballs where the maid robot thing sucks up all the trees?
Oh, yeah.
It looked like that. All the trees were just gone. I mean, they weren't gone. They were down the road a little bit. But they'd just been uprooted. And we had tornado force winds and everything without an actual funnel cloud. And it lasted for like 2 hours. It destroyed a huge swaths of mostly just farmland. But never one with an actual cyclone. I don't want to either. I think they're cool in movies and stuff, but I don't want to be near one. I'm not fat enough to stay grounded. Those things pick up homes.
Right? Old guy just said his wife lived through Mount St. Helens.
Like she was a virginal sacrifice and it didn't go right, or
no, I don't think that's what that meant.
Oh, fair enough. All right.
Real fast. Thank you, Retro V Gamer, for that generous donation. money for Jack. At least this works. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. And I'm glad it works. I like money.
And over on this Streamlabs, thank you, Keldrig. We had one small earthquake in my area when I was in high school. I slept through it, and my parents had to tell me about it in the morning.
Yeah, I slept through the worst earthquake I'd ever been in, which was like a 4.7, I think. I slept through it because I could sleep through fucking anything.
Bubba says the movie Twister taught me to strap myself to a pipe with a belt. Yeah.
Just hold on.
That reminds me of the Ron White bit where he's talking about that dude who strapped himself to a tree during a hurricane. And Ron says it's not that the wind is blowing, it's what the wind is blowing. Which is true. If you try to make shit that happened in Twister, they're going to find parts of you.
Yeah, no shit. Get cut in half by that belt. A tornado will throw a straw through a 2x4. So that's not really a good plan. But look, Oklahoma, I'm real sorry that Amberlynn Reed fell down.
And Michael says, of all the disasters, I prefer blizzards. Yeah, I'm probably with you on that. They last for a couple of hours, and as long as you don't lose power, it's not that bad. It just, you can't go out for a day or two. We're looking at being snowed in probably till Monday right now.
Ew. No, of all the disasters to live through, the ones that I'm not involved in are the ones I'm okay with.
No, if you had to be in one.
Nope.
That's yeah.
Nope. I don't know. I had to be in one. A dangerous Asian sex orgy. Yes, that would be it.
I'm fairly certain those are, full of just Thai boy girls.
No, it's just full of naked women and me, and I'm the only one that can pleasure them. That's a disaster.
Speaking of naked women and pleasuring them, Coach Red Pill died.
Yeah, I know.
That was a horrible segue, and I don't even feel bad about it.
That was pretty bad. You should feel bad about that one.
Not even a little.
Well, real quick. Thank you, Vol Potato. Basically, the entirety of your western coast is a tectonic plate fault line. Australia, on the other hand, is smack dab in the middle of one. Yeah, you're just kind of riding the wave. Yeah. The West Coast, if it falls in the ocean, it happens. What are you going to do?
All right. Gonzalo Lira is his real name. He known to all of us as Coach Red Pill. He's been on the show 2 or 3 times, Jack. I don't remember exactly. I want to say 2.
At least it's been more than that because I know I've talked to him a couple times. So probably 3.
There's a pretty famous, for our crowd, clip that Far did of him and Polly arguing.
Yeah, she animated it.
Yeah, she animated it. I forgot that I was on there and that Satsu's on there.
Yeah, I was in the chat that day.
I remember the conversation. I remember us all talking, but I forgot that was part of that clip. Because Coach Red Pill, he accuses Polly of accusing him of something for asking a question. You asked it accusatorily. And Satsu's like, wait, how do you state something in a question? But
those two did not get along at all. It was pretty entertaining.
I don't have deep feelings about Coach Red Pill himself. I didn't know him that well. The conversations we had on here is, I think we had one conversation in DMs, Jack. But otherwise, everything was all public. You guys saw the interactions I had with the guy. I feel bad for his family, as you would. I have some empathy in my life, Jack. But as a creator, I disagreed with almost everything he ever said. He really should be known as the father of the red pill here on YouTube.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he really kicked everything into a higher gear than most were even capable of.
If you go back and watch his stuff, because I was sent a video of some of the stuff he'd said. I'm like, yeah, I've seen all this before. But I mean, it's almost the exact same talking points as Fresh and Fit and Rolo and all these fucking idiots who are grifting people now. So he really was that guy, but he goes over to Ukraine for reasons that escape me as a proud American.
Because his wife's Ukrainian.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Mr. You tell the women what to do was following his wife. Am I not supposed to point that out?
I don't know how those rules work.
What I do have a major problem with, though, is that this man was jailed for upsetting Vladimir Zelensky because he said stuff. He gave support to the Russians by saying that the Russians had a better army than Zelensky did, for saying that the Russians were going to kick the shit out of the Ukrainians if they insisted on having the war, and for pointing out that one of my favorite charges that he was charged with was for putting journalists in danger. You know how he's in danger? He walked down the streets filming himself and showed them all standing around in Kiev with their thumbs up their asses on official government property, just standing there. He put them in danger.
Yeah, danger of being exposed as a bunch of shills for the state. Yeah.
And our fucking government let this man get arrested and die in a Ukrainian prison when they pulled out all the stops, including letting an international arms dealer who was selling arms to terrorists go for a fucking drug addict and WNBA player. It's not even like it was LeBron or anything.
I have to correct you. Drug trafficker.
Drug trafficker. That's right, because she's carrying it across borders.
Mm-hmm.
We pulled out all the stops for Brittany Grimer, whatever. Griner, right?
And yeah.
Pull out all the stops, literally giving them, hey, here's a terrorist who sells arms to terrorist organizations. You guys have him, but we need that WNBA player who was arrested for drugs. That guy who's arrested basically for free speech, fuck him.
Yeah. It's because they called him a Russian propagandist. And he was just really pointing out a lot of facts. And so he was more pro-Russia, but who cares? He's allowed to have an opinion. Oh, no, apparently not, because Zelensky canceled elections, had his political opposition arrested, got rid of other political parties, got clergymen arrested, basically acted like, what's that word everybody uses? Nazi.
He had a chance to get out of there. He was leaving the country when he was arrested in this final arrest, because he'd been arrested before and they'd let him go. And he was trying to leave the country. The last video that he posted was him saying, I am trying to leave the country. If you don't hear from me in 12 hours, they got me. And I will probably end up dying.
And he was right.
I don't have to like the man to look at what went on here and be absolutely fucking disgusted with it.
Yeah. I didn't have any bad interactions with the guy. I'm pretty indifferent on him as a person. A lot of people hate him. I understood what he was. And it didn't really bother me so much because, if he's doing his grift, he's not a con man per se. He's not selling anything. So
I didn't hate him. I hated a lot of his ideology.
That's different.
He famously said that the alt-right was going to win because they were right. And in that conversation, he was talking about race realism.
Yeah. But at the same time, he was pandering to his audience. That's part of his shtick.
He was a very good grifter.
Yeah.
I don't believe he believed most of what he said. I
don't either.
He said what would bring in money and audience.
Yeah, and it worked.
It did.
He was good at his shtick. So I've met a lot of people like him over the years, mostly salespeople. So I'm just I'm indifferent on it. I don't hate the guy. Didn't like him necessarily. He was polite. I was polite back. About it.
Yeah, our interactions that me and him had on stream were cordial, even during that Poly argument where I pointed out where he was wrong repeatedly. We didn't yell at each other or anything.
No, because he was at least one of those people that if you disagreed with him, he wasn't necessarily going to attack you unless you attacked him.
He took stuff very, very personally, and if he felt personally attacked, then he would shut off and leave.
Yeah, and that's his prerogative. But he didn't deserve to die in a Ukrainian jail just because he was a grifter. He died there because our State Department and our president are pussies and wouldn't tell Zelensky to just deport the guy. He's an American citizen, not a Ukrainian citizen. He had a passport for Chile and the United States.
Yes.
That was it. He was an American by birth because that's the way it works. If you don't like him, deport him. You don't get to throw him in jail and let him die after you torture him a bunch, no doubt.
Now, somebody asked us how he died. All that I've heard is sickness in jail. I don't know more than that. It was announced by Tucker Carlson that he died because Tucker covered his story, what, a month ago, 2 months ago now?
Yeah, it's been a little while. He had his dad on.
Yeah, he had Coach Red Pill's dad on there. And apparently Coach Red Pill's dad, because we've heard before, there was like, hey, did you hear CRP died? But that seems to have just been started by people who realized he hadn't posted for a while. In this instance, CRP's dad reached out to Tucker Carlson to let him know that Gonzalo died. So there's people, there's the conspiracy's already started that it's just him faking it again because he was so, I mean, he was somebody who would say anything for views. Anything he thought that would get him views. But with his dad coming out and going to Tucker Carlson telling him that he died, I doubt that's the case. Maybe we'll see Eddie and the Cruisers 2 with Coach Red Pill. I don't know. I doubt it. But with the story that we have so far, I'm fucking disgusted as an American, especially considering, Jack, this isn't even like Trump had gotten Griner out and now there's a new administration. It's the same fucking administration. And an American is thrown in prison for words. And you couldn't be bothered to even mention it. But with Griner, this drug addict WNBA player who's literally going over there just for money. That's why she went there. She doesn't make enough to live the high life here in the United States. She got to go over there to get her high money. And we gave them a dude who was selling missiles and shit to terrorists. That's what we traded.
Yeah, there's also an American journalist being held in Russia right now, too, by the way, that they are ignoring. So apparently the administration just doesn't give a fuck about American citizens.
Tailvin says, wait, I thought there was a sequel to Eddie and the Cruisers. Yeah, it's called Eddie Lives. Eddie and the Cruisers 2, Eddie Lives. It's got one of my favorite songs by John Cafferty, who does all the music for the Eddie and the Cruisers band. It's called Adam and Eve. If you've never heard it, look it up. It's a good blues song. Oh, no, it's called Garden of Eden. Sorry. Garden of Eden by John Cafferty. All right. So I don't have much more to say on that other than I really do hope that it's wrong. I don't think the guy deserves to die, and I'm not going to be like, oh, well, fuck that guy, just because I disagreed with the way he was grifting here on YouTube.
Yeah.
The bigger story to me there is how our fucking government let this happen with a little piece of shit who's stealing our money constantly and begging us and telling us we need to go over there and die for his stupid cause.
Look, Biden's got an election coming up. He needs that money that is getting funneled right back to the DNC. That's why Sam Bankman-Fried's getting a little slappy on the wrist.
Thoughts on Mabane, North Carolina getting the first Buc-ee's in the state? I don't know anything about Buc-ee's or care. Isn't that like a food place?
No, it's a gas station chain that has like the greatest Walmart style interior in history. Huh. And I want one because I want to go there and check it out.
I have never been to one. I remember there was a controversy about them a little while back. I don't remember what the controversy was.
That they were too awesome?
Perhaps.
They pay their employees pretty good, too, because the place is huge. It's like a one-stop shop kind of place.
Black Romeo says, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he was still alive, but the Ukrainian government just told his dad he died. That's a possibility, too.
Yeah, I rule nothing out, but it's quite likely he's dead. And he's an older man. He's, late 50s?
Yeah, he looked older than that, especially when you see him back in the old CRP days. He's very well presented. His hair's all nice. The last ones we saw of him, he looked like Saddam crawling out of the hole.
Yeah, marriage will do that to you.
Yeah, he had not aged well. And our government just let that shit happen, man. To this piece of shit who keeps coming to us with his hand out.
Yeah, I find it disgusting. These are supposed to be our allies, and they kill one of our citizens in their fucking jail.
Hey, we got to give them money for democracy.
No, there should be an investigation into this. There really should. If the Republicans had any spine at all, which they don't, they would absolutely be asking questions about why one of our citizens died in their jail and why he was there not being deported. This is total bullshit and should end a bunch of the aid going to Zelensky and his little cronies. But again, the administration is full of weak-willed pussies. They didn't even know the defense secretary was in the fucking hospital for 4 days. These people are shameless hacks, and they don't give a fuck about American citizens.
Speaking of not giving a fuck about American citizens and Ukraine, let's go back to Nikki Haley for a minute.
Oh, yeah. She loves it.
Because she was there with Sean Hannity, because of course she was. Sean, if you're not getting blown, you're getting robbed here, dude. I just want you're out here. Uh-oh. There we go.
What?
My internet was being a dick there. You're out here pimping this whore out, and you're not even tasting the fruits of your labor. That's bad pimping, man.
Tasting his own fruits, gross.
That's bad pimping. You got to test the goods before you pimp it out.
See, Hannity was always cuddling Trump's nuts, but since he's on Fox, he's got to caress Nikki's poon. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
So I guess it raises the obvious question about foreign policy. What would the Nikki Haley doctrine be on all three of these issues?
I want to point out, she posted this to Twitter. I'm not getting this from somebody else who's dogging on her. She thinks this is a great showing.
First of all, Sean, it is a constant topic of conversation that comes up with voters here in Iowa. We've also seen it in New Hampshire. People are worried. They see those wars, and they're worried about what this means. We should always be focused on national security and prevention of war.
She just said that out loud. Nikki
the one
Haley
who's calling for war with Russia and Iran.
Hey, we should be preventing wars by, engaging in them. I do believe that that if somebody strikes you, you smack them back so that they don't do it again.
Yeah, nice and hard.
Russia didn't do shit to us. Gaza didn't do shit to us.
It's not true with Russia. They interrupted Joe's Burisma money.
Hey, and at least in Gaza, they did take some Americans hostage. They weren't the target, but they were part of the group.
Mm-hmm.
But in neither of those cases was it a direct target at the United States. Yemen, on the other hand, which we'll talk about in a little bit, fuck those little Houthi bitches.
Right. It's a good thing Joe took them off the terrorism list.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Joe Biden's missed. The reason all this has happened is because he's been too slow and too weak on everything. We saw it from Afghanistan. We saw it in the fact that Putin surrounded Ukraine a whole year before and he did nothing. We see it now.
They didn't so much surround Ukraine because Ukraine borders Poland, honey.
Well, on two sides. They were on two sides because they were.
She said surrounded.
Yeah, your definition of surrounded is not the political definition of surrounded. Remember, Hillary took sniper fire in a totally peaceful setting.
Yeah, there was somebody, 6 countries away who fired a bullet that day, and she was in danger.
She was waving away the bullet with her magic powers. It wasn't a wave to other people. It was like that sniper died instantly when she waved at him.
It does matter, though, to say surrounded versus built it up on their borders. That is an important difference. But anyway, especially with her, they said they're going into Poland.
With Iran, they smell blood in the water. And so what they're doing is they're taking advantage of every situation because they know Joe isn't. And what bothers me even more than that, I've told people what keeps me up at night is what happens between
is all the dick she gets when her husband's not home.
Oh, dear.
We now an election day, because you just showed that clip of Joe Biden. It didn't even feel like he knew where he was.
And that's a fair point to bring up, Nikki, but you say stupid shit. I want to show you the tweet that this is attached to. I didn't mean to take that off the screen. The tweet that this is attached to says Biden is bent over backwards to appease our adversaries, and they smell blood in the water. I dealt with thugs and bullies every day as UN ambassador. They always knew that I meant what I said, and it didn't matter if they liked it. Is anybody buying Nikki Haley as the thug buster?
See, now, I took that as a different interpretation than you did, because you pointed out that she's Trump's mouthpiece when she was ambassador.
Yeah.
I think she's referring to Trump here. Thug and bully.
What she's doing here is trying to make, because she always names them usually. She always names them usually. What a fucking retarded thing to say out loud. Usually she actually names the countries, China and Iran, except she says Iran. I like it both ways. Damn it. Now I sound like Nikki. She's pointing to these countries that she normally names. She had no power, literally none, as UN ambassador. You know what power ambassadors have?
The power to say please.
They can sometimes help with getting people visas.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not something that the UN ambassador would have any dealing with.
Oh, sometimes.
So she had less power than our ambassador to Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, because at least if you went to jail in Papua New Guinea or were running away from cannibals, maybe the ambassador would send somebody to help you.
Yeah.
Here's a lawyer to make sure you're not dead.
She went to the UN and told them what Donald Trump told her to say. Yeah. The most power she had is the ability to go, I think this is what we should do. And at that point, Trump could go, shut up, Nikki. You go do what I told you to do. Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. Woo. Nikki was speaking with the power of Orange Man, not her own settle down whore. Yes, exactly. It did not matter what she said. Her words only had whatever meaning Donald Trump gave them. Period. That's how ambassadors work. Especially the ambassador to the UN when you're not talking about it being in a foreign country to try to help out U.S. citizens. Or to make deals, be like, hey, I think I can get this deal. Let me go talk to the president. Even then, you're going to talk to the president. This stuff has to be approved by Congress. No, I stood up to these. They knew I meant what I said. Yeah, but they also knew it didn't fucking matter what you said unless Trump backed you up. It's very much that you remember when Biden brags about what he did with oh God, what's his name? The guy over in Ukraine. The
prosecutor?
Yeah. Shokin, prosecutor Shokin, where they told him, hey, you don't have the power to do that. And he goes, well, call the president. Because even the vice president has no power. He only has the power that Barack gave him. And I guarantee you, they called Barack. And if Barack said, fuck Joe, they would have been like, fuck you, Joe, get out. Because you don't suck up to the vice president, Pence. You don't suck up to the UN ambassador, Nikki. You suck up to the United States president because he's the one with the actual power.
Yeah.
I stood up to those thugs. Shut up. You got bitch slapped by Rand Paul. I like Rand Paul, man, but you got embarrassed by Rand Paul.
Yeah, not necessarily known for his comedy stylings, you know.
This came out after Rand Paul put that stuff out, too, where she's trying to pretend she's all big and bad.
She's bad at this. She's going to get destroyed by Trump.
I'm going to miss her when she's gone, but not because I want her to be in the election other than as a joke.
Look, if it ends up being her and Trump, he is going to make her cry. On stage, I think.
Yes. Oh, God, yes. All right, now I want to talk about DeSantis supporters, because some of y'all need to shut the fuck up. Jack, this is a DeSantis supporter. Blizzard or polar vortex, we will be in Iowa. The winter storm caused a delay, but it won't stop me from coming to support DeSantis. Emergency prepared. I see others like Dream M Griff 28 sleeping at the airport to make it. Other candidates don't have this passion behind them.
Does he know who Vivek is?
An hour before this was put up, Vivek was actually doing a campaign event in this shit, and a whole bunch of people came out to watch it.
Yeah. He's been driving around when other people have been canceling everything and running away. Oh, this is embarrassing.
This, I by all means support DeSantis, and good on you for going to Walmart and buying some shit so that you can sit in a cushy building and not actually go in the snow. But Vivek is killing this shit. He did this with the snow. This is not the first snowstorm of the season. We just had snow 2 days ago.
Yeah. He was driving around in nasty weather the other day, and DeSantis and Nikki both canceled events.
And he was like, "No, fuck this. This is what we got to do. We got to go out there and talk to the people." You don't have to like what he says, but nobody can dismiss the fact that he's trying to get his message out. He's out there campaigning hard, while the other ones are like, "Oh, it's a little cold outside." Now with Nikki, the song "Baby It's Cold Outside" doesn't work, because that could be like, "Baby, it's 50 degrees outside. Drive your ass home." She's like, "I'm not leaving. You got penis." It's a whole different song, Jeff.
Yeah, I guess so. Thank you, Keldrick. Trump making Nikki cry is something I'd pay to see. Well, I think Trump would definitely be up for pay-per-view version of that. Yeah.
She's I don't know that she would actually cry. She would do her rolling her eyes thing, her Hillary impression.
I don't know. If she's desperate enough, I think she would actually cry on cue. And I think she would cry and say, "How can you do this to a woman?
Yeah.
You're a bully. You gonna try and grab him by the pussy?"
I hate to change the subject to dead kids, but I kind of have to, because I saw this.
We are just full of great transitions today.
It's okay. Some people don't call them kids because they're unborn.
Oh, they're close to cells.
"I'm alone and scared. Where's my mom? I want to live." The last words of Yennefer Alvarez Estrada. By the way, there's no proof those are her last words. I'm going to point that part out.
I don't know who this is.
You'll find out here in a second. In Yenny's 7th week of pregnancy, her health began to deteriorate rapidly. You see, Yenny was already at high risk for complications due to her pre-morbid conditions of hypertension, diabetes, and pulmonary edema.
Oh, fat.
At 7 weeks, she presented at a Catholic hospital with trouble breathing. She was eventually transferred to an OGBYN who noted Yenny was at risk for having a heart attack or stroke.
Is it because she was fat or pregnant?
I don't know if she was fat or not, honestly, but
she listed all the comorbidities for a fatty.
Fair, but when women get pregnant, it can cause issues with, especially hypertension. And there is a thing called natal diabetes, prenatal diabetes, whatever it's called, where women get diabetes from being pregnant.
I don't really know how pregnancy stuff works. It's just they get fat. That's all.
For the record, this woman, we're going based on this woman's word of what all she had that wasn't necessarily caused by pregnancy. I do not know that any of that is true. We do know that she had those conditions while she was pregnant, which again, my members of my family have had those same issues who are not diabetic, but were during pregnancy. That's how I know that's a thing.
It's like being gay for the steak kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, okay. Are we sure this is a real person?
Yes, she's absolutely a real person.
Oh, okay. Just checking. This sounded like some creepypasta nonsense.
No doctor ever suggested terminating the pregnancy, even though Yenny was becoming progressively worse as the pregnancy went on. She was transferred to a larger hospital. Again, it was never suggested that the pregnancy be terminated. She died at 29 years old because options were never given.
Oh, no.
Jenny was never given a choice. All right, she's a 29-year-old American. She didn't know abortion was a choice?
Yeah, I don't know any 16-year-olds that don't know abortion's a choice, let alone a 29-year-old. Was she growing up in an Amish village, and by hospital they meant barn?
I just want to highlight the words that are on screen there. Catholic hospital. I want to highlight the fact that her name is Jennifer Alvarez Estrada. Anybody get where I'm going with this?
So she was an illegal alien.
No, she was probably Irish. She was probably Catholic.
Yeah.
She probably didn't believe in abortion.
Hence, that would explain going to a Catholic hospital.
But there are people all over the internet using this woman as these damn religious people are keeping women from even having the option of abortion. Maybe, and I'm throwing this out there, it wasn't an option for her. I know this is hard to believe in 2024 America, but there are mothers who put themselves under their children, even the unborn ones.
What?
There are mothers out there who would put their own lives at risk to give their baby a chance.
That's weird to most people these days because they're self-centered narcissists.
No, because these days it's like, oh my God, you could possibly get saggy boobs. You should kill that thing.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to come to the party next week if you do that. Oh my God.
You'll never be able to sing like a goat if you don't kill the baby.
Well, usually you're sacrificing to the goat. Then.
Oh my God. This pissed me off so bad. I mean, the clues are right fucking there. She's 29. She lives in America. She knew abortion was an option. Oh, but she was in Texas, Jack. She was in Texas.
I suspect illegal alien.
And this was 2 weeks. This is blowing up now. This was 2 weeks after Roe v. Wade was, overturned in Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
She's Hispanic, probably Mexican.
Illegal.
No, I'm willing to believe she's legal.
I'm not prepared to make that commitment.
I don't know if y'all know this. Mexicans, very, very religious.
Yeah. That sounds like an anchor baby.
This is a girl who probably went to that hospital because abortion wasn't an option.
Yeah.
For her, not for them, for her.
I don't know if I've ever met somebody from Mexico that was pro-abortion.
Because they tend to be Catholic.
Like hardcore Catholic. Not just not American Catholic, but like real Catholic.
Like paintings of Jesus all over their house Catholic.
Yeah, like I get the stigmata kind of Catholic.
And these people are, oh my God, what happened to her right to choose?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was taken from her. She was never told of the options. Never told of the options 2 weeks after Dobbs. Are you fucking kidding me? Eat me. Also, maybe the abortion would have presented its own risk. Look, if we're just being honest, chances are an abortion wouldn't have helped. It was 7 weeks, Jack. She was 7 weeks pregnant. Most of the complications from pregnancy like that, where it causes a big issue, those are weeks down the line. You're talking 3, 4, 5 months along.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that like second and third trimester stuff?
I mentioned the diabetes, the natal diabetes thing, and that tends to show later on. It could be that early. You're probably right. She's probably overweight, and that led to her heart and diabetes and hypertension issues. But even if we're giving them the benefit of the doubt on all of that, it's America 2 weeks after Dobbs, and she just wasn't given the option of an abortion.
Hypnagogic Monk said he's reading about her, and she was severely obese and had COVID.
Oh, there you go. But again, you don't even have to have those mitigating factors, because the whole thing here is it was kept from her. 2 weeks after Dobbs, nobody knew that abortion was a thing in America. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and if she was severely obese, she obviously had some pre-existing medical conditions then, because she's fat. That's one right there. But having COVID on top of that could provide a lot of complications that might have killed her anyway. I doubt that had anything to do with the abortion at all.
These are the people that will tell you you can't ban abortion at 6 weeks because most women don't even know they were pregnant. But at 7 weeks, it'll fucking kill you. For real? Something happens at 6 weeks and 6 days and 23 hours like that. Suddenly, like, oh my God, I'm pregnant and dying. For real? I hate these people. I fucking hate them.
What?
This is a woman who probably did die saying, no, I don't want you to abort my child. She probably went specifically to this Catholic hospital because she knew that as a diabetic and as a hypertensive, that the first option for most doctors in these cases, you got to kill that thing. And she probably did that on her own. Look, I'm guessing. I'm just going by what I see. But the truth is, none of us know. The one thing we do know is there's no fucking way she didn't know abortion was an option. That's retarded to even suggest. And they're using her death to be like, look at how those bad people want to keep you from, they want to kill you. They want to kill you, Jack. Well, hey, not man. You, because you have a penis, but the women, they want to kill the women.
Just like facts, the left is, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The left has no problem standing on the corpses of human beings, just like they have no regard for the facts.
None.
So it's shameless, but they will stand on any lie that will benefit them, as if it was a Parkland shooting kid.
Yeah.
Or a Sandy Hook baby.
You know, it's almost like they prefer it when they can lie about it. You know what I mean? Because they know nobody's going to check into it. The news media is not going to look into this woman's death. If you go look it up, there's very little that points out anything I just said. Like, you know, the fact that she's Hispanic and went to a Catholic hospital. That's called a hint, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Her family. There is a quote from her family saying that they were planning a baby shower. Kind of sounds like she wanted the kid, Jack.
It does. But, you know, Monkey, you have to listen and believe. I'm sure a woman said this, so you have to listen and believe because you have to believe all women.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. All right. I want to move on and talk about nicer stuff because, that one pissed me off so bad. I was so mad. So mad. Let's watch some Vivek. We don't watch enough Vivek around here. And we missed him the other night on the debate stage.
Yeah, I did. I missed him. That was so fucking boring.
With only the two of them, they really should have cut that down or cut them off. They need to have a new rule like, hey, if you're just rambling, we're going to cut you the fuck off.
No, they should have random things happen. Like two guys come out in fat suits and start wrestling for 30 seconds completely at random. That would have spiced that shit up real good.
I still think that I should be given the power to zap them with shock collars anytime they refuse to answer a question.
Yeah, that'd work too. I'd be down with that.
And I do mean me specifically. No offense to the rest of you. I know everybody would like that power, but me specifically.
Well, you have a shorter tolerance for nonsense, so I'm fine with you having it.
I appreciate that. I think I do a good job of being like, and it doesn't matter which one it is because Ron did it and I called his bitch ass out for it too.
Mm-hmm.
I even called Vivek out for not answering. But Vivek at least usually will get to the question. That's not true with the others. Anyway, so this is Vivek. This is during the storm, you guys. The storm that those Ron DeSantis, nobody has any kind of support like Ron does. Look, we might actually go out eventually. This is him during the storm. And there's other shots from this and from his other events. There's quite a few people there. And these are old people. They should not be out in the snow, man. They're going to break a hip.
They got nothing left to lose. They're all down for it. Old people always want to go somewhere when the weather sucks. It's amazing.
These are the kind of people who are going to show up for the caucus.
Yeah. Well, plus they all drive like 15 miles an hour anyway, so they don't notice a difference in the traffic.
We should probably leave for the caucus now with how slow they drive.
Right? Real quick. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. You know, I want to meet the doctors who, even in the face of the mother's death, would be too scared to abort a child to save a mother. Even St. Thomas here in Tennessee a religious Baptist hospital said they would do it to save the mother.
Yep.
Yeah, because life is precious.
Chances are, because they point to part of the medical examiner's report where like, yeah, her pregnancy probably had an impact on this. She was 7 weeks along. Fuck off. Not only is he out in the storm, but people are showing up for him too. Exactly, Becca. Exactly.
I can't compete with the super PAC industrial complex. The TV ads that they're flooding you with. That's not the game we play. We're doing it this way.
If we're in the same room, nobody can stop us.
Vivek. I love this man.
I'm going to let a bit of snow get in our way. My favorite part about being here in Iowa is meeting voters who actually care about this country and will come out no matter what.
That is very important. I have not seen, and maybe it's because they're not having their rallies during the snow. Look at that room right there. I mean, this is not an empty room, and it's not a small room. It's not Trump numbers, Jack.
Well, no, but I mean, let's face it. There's not a lot of venues that could handle a Trump-style event in Iowa.
The polls are all telling us that Vivek is going to finish at best in fourth. At best. I'm very curious of what's going to happen here, and what the media will say if he pulls off an upset and hits second place.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. I hope he does, because first of all, I like Vivek. I think he is got a lot of potential, but at the same time, I think that he's got better turnout at these events than the others do. And no matter what the hype says, it's turnout. He's going out and actually talking to people. The other two are sort of just meandering around doing it for show. They don't really seem to try and connect with people the way he has.
Faithless says the truth banner looks an awful lot like a Trump sign. That's on purpose.
It's absolutely on purpose.
Remember, Vivek, he's made no excuses. He's like, I think Trump was great. It's just he got taken in by these idiots in Washington, so he couldn't get everything done. That won't happen to me. I'm carrying his banner.
Yeah, seriously. He's trying to look like the successor.
Yeah, and he's not hiding it at all.
Vivek Ramaswamy was the only Republican candidate campaigning in Iowa yesterday.
Vivek Ramaswamy's campaign is pledging to knock on doors in Iowa every day leading up to the caucuses.
Vivek Ramaswamy leading the charge with.
Look at how many events he's had compared to the others. Now, Nikki's spending all her time in New Hampshire where there's far fewer people, so she doesn't have to work as hard. That vagina gets sore very quick.
Oh, geez, dude. I knew you were going there. That was
a good one, though. Come on.
That was a good one.
I slipped it in there like people do to her.
Fucking hell, man.
With 239 campaign events in 94 different counties in Iowa. That's even more events than Trump, Haley, and DeSantis combined.
Yeah, I love how.
Now, that's all going to be for naught if he doesn't finish second. Just being honest here, you guys know I love Vivek, but if he doesn't finish second, he pretty much probably should drop out. Maybe if he hits third, he stays in going into New Hampshire and South Carolina. But otherwise, he's just wasting his money. Become a surrogate for Trump instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or VP.
Well, with an eventual eye to VP, he says he doesn't want it, and I believe that he doesn't want it. But at the very least, start looking at, like, I don't know, governorship of Ohio.
Yeah, I'd vote for him over DeWine any day.
Because DeWine comes up in 26, right? You guys do it every off year, or the off years, right?
We do it on the off years, but DeWine has been such a complete disappointment, especially on this last trans issue, which thankfully the state Senate overrode him. But he voted down the banning trans kids from getting meds and playing in women's sports.
We didn't talk about that, and with some of the stupidest fucking reasoning too.
Yeah,
his reasoning was basically it doesn't affect many people.
Yeah, because he's a fence-sitting bitch, and basically somebody said it'll look bad in the polls if you're beating up on little kids, and he's like, "Oh no, that's bad." So he pushed out, and then he gave some executive order that kind of half-ass covered some of what the bill said, but thankfully the state reps are doing their jobs.
I'm not sold on that yet. Chief of staff or secretary of state, maybe. Not chief of staff. Look, I think he'd be a great chief of staff for Trump. The problem with being chief of staff is that is not a stepping stone to going to the presidency, which is where if I had to put Vivek, I'd prefer him be president. Vice president, he'd be bored for 4 years, but at least that puts him, in the running. But if we're being honest, if you want to be president, you need to be one of two things. There's very few exceptions to this in the United States history. You need to be a senator or a governor.
Yeah. Maybe he could get a cabinet position, but that's not going to really launch him anywhere, but at least he would be productive.
Governor of Florida. The problem with being governor of Florida is that he'd have to move down there. He lives in Ohio now, and that would be seen as carpetbagging.
Yeah.
I'm just spitballing where he would be if he didn't take VP. No, I get you, Dark Resurrect. I'm looking at it from a selfish point of view, and also from a if he really does ever want to be president kind of point of view.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm hoping if he goes for governorship, he does it here in Ohio because we have terrible leadership.
You do. Vivek needs to be Speaker of the House. I would love to see that.
That'd be fun.
I would love him to call out the losers in that fucking house right to their face, the way he's done to other people. Anyway, I just wanted to pop that up there to show how he's doing out there, what he's doing out there. For anybody, I mean, somebody mentioned he seems too good to be true, that he seems like a plant. Nobody's a plant and goes out and does 294 events, especially when part of them are in fucking blizzard conditions.
Yeah.
I would take that he's a grifter over a plant any day.
Yeah, and if he's doing a grift, it's a pretty convincing one.
Yeah. Monkey needs Vivek as governor of his state. Oh, God, yeah. Him move up to Michigan and take over? Hell yeah.
No, you can't have him. He's ours.
At least something good came out of Ohio on the national level.
Hey, we produced two things here. Presidents and serial killers. The occasional astronaut thrown in for good measure.
You say those like they're different.
No, I didn't mean. I meant the astronauts are different, but presidents and serial killers, similar mindset more often than not.
All right, this is just me being petty, and I admit it. Pearl tweeted out, how long does a woman not have to have sex to be considered celibate? People, I need you to listen to me. Please stop saying celibate when you mean chaste. Please. I'm begging you. Celibacy involves marriage. It means you won't get married or have sex. It used to just mean not get married, but now you won't get married or have sex. But the married part is a big part of it. Just not having sex is chastity. We don't have celibacy belts. We have chastity belts. All right,
calm down, Chaucer.
It just annoys me because everybody uses it wrong because they're retarded and can't do a simple. You don't even have to do a simple search. Just go watch Robin Hood Men in Tights. Notice that the belt on her is a chastity belt, not a fucking celibacy belt.
Literally. They don't know the meaning of the word literally. Do you think they're going to know the difference between chastity and chaste?
It's chastity, guys, not celibacy. All right. I don't really care about that one. This one is a story in two parts, Jack. I don't even know how to bring this one up. You know who Christopher Rufio is, right?
Yes, I follow him on Twitter.
Christopher Rufio is a activist who gets credit for bringing CRT into the public, even though he wasn't the first one to do it. He was just probably the most successful. Mm-hmm. He's most recently known for getting Claudine Gay out of Harvard, even though, again, he wasn't. I mean, he had a lot to do with it, but putting it all on his shoulders kind of dismisses other people who were involved.
True.
So again, I'm not dismissing what he's done, but I think a lot of it is pumped up to make him a boogeyman. And Jennifer Hochschild, I think is how you pronounce this, who is a professor at Harvard, Jack.
Oh, Harvard.
Decided she was going to take him down a peg.
Ew.
By attacking students at Harvard.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's
on Rufio.
Let's see if it pays off.
On Rufio, what do integrity police say about his claim to have a master's degree from Harvard, which is actually from the Open Enrollment Extension School? Those students are great. I teach them, but they're not the same as what we normally think of as Harvard graduate students.
They're the lessers.
They're the lessers.
The untouchables.
This was so bad and received so poorly that she had to issue a statement.
Is she going to resign now too?
No, she's just another Twitter statement. I was asked to clarify, and I'm glad to do so. HES, the Harvard Extension School, courses are Harvard U courses, often the same as FAS as for my courses. HES bachelor's and master's degree are Harvard University degrees. HES is a school in Harvard, analogous to other schools. HES students are Harvard U students. So everything you said in the first part was petty bullshit.
Yes.
She came out and it gets worse though, because these are the two that have blown up, right? But if you go into the comments, I don't know if you know what. Let's just go back to my timeline. No, why am I uncertain of it? Oh, because I was looking at Rufio. Somebody asked her in response to that, what flaws do you most notice in students who are great? I'm sorry, this is to the first one. Were great, but differences from what you normally think of. And she says this, not flaws, your words, not mine. Extension school students are mostly smart, ambitious, hardworking, thoughtful, sometimes very accomplished, but mostly striving for upward mobility without background that would get them admitted to what is usually understood as Harvard grad school.
Oh, this is helping.
They're some of those pores trying to live above their station. This is
I have
Harvard...
a video clip just for this sort of occasion.
This is a Harvard teacher insulting the Harvard students.
No, insulting the Harvard pores.
Yes. She even says she teaches at the extension school herself, Jack. So she's insulting her own students.
Yes, because they're dirty, dirty pores. What are they going to do? Complain? Pfft, that's how you get kicked out, you filthy untouchable.
So yeah, she had to come out and go, yeah, it's real part of the school. It really is. I promise it really is. Oh my God. I laughed so fucking hard because that originally blew up on the 5th and she just had to do her correction 2 days ago. And I laughed so fucking hard, man.
Can we play the clip that I think is the most reminiscent of this? I believe I responded to you with it. It's like 4 seconds long.
Did you respond on there? Because it's not letting me open that for some reason.
What? Hold on, I'll respond to her. I'm responding to her with that same video.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that's not letting me open up. That's weird.
Hold on, I'll just give you the link here. Fucking people, man. Dirty poor people. Dirty, dirty poor people.
Yeah, I also want to real quick while we're getting. Are you sending me the link here or over on Twitter?
I'm gonna send it to you in the private chat here.
Cool.
I had to find it again because I already hit the button before I said that.
I just want to say once again to all the people who keep trying to break into my accounts, I don't even know my password, so good luck guessing it. All you're doing is spamming my fucking email with that shit. Please knock it off. I'm gonna guess it. No, you're not. I don't even know it. If you guess it, you need to go buy a lottery ticket. Oh, yes, I do. And you're right. This fits perfectly for that.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Two things I want to point out. That, well, three things. One, he does catch himself right after that. I meant rich kids.
No, he did. No, he did. He meant what he said.
But I want to listen one more time.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
His speech is slurring there.
That's because he's been drinking.
Now we've laughed at that clip many times because it is funny.
Yeah.
But it shows the underlying thought that, I mean, that's where his brain was.
Mm-hmm.
How it was just a slip. Yeah, and slips happen. But he meant to say that. He really did. He's trying to say, hey, poor kids. His mistake there is not saying poor kids are as smart as white kids. It's that what he really wanted to say is black kids are as smart as white kids, and he was too much of a pussy to say that part.
Yeah. Now, I have a file photo, a recent one of Harvard Extension student hard at work. If you don't mind me sharing. Yes. I think the audience would benefit from seeing what she's talking about.
Goddamn. I just love that
kind of cross-eyed too.
She framed it as them trying to get upward mobility. They're trying to, them damn pores are sneaking in. Who even thinks like that? I'll tell you who thinks like that. The elites at these schools. I'm better than you.
Oh yeah, they're so much fucking better than us. I'm fucking better than you.
I'm fucking better than you. And, you know, they get mad when you call them elites because, like, we don't think we're better than anyone. Really? Are you sure about that? All right, Jack. Let's talk about our friend Undoomed. I didn't even see this blow up. I think I saw you retweet it.
Oh, yeah. I was having fun with that one.
So, you know, let's go to his timeline. We'll pull up the original. Because it's
make sure you pull up the picture that Monk did.
I didn't see it.
Oh, I retweeted it.
So the other day, Undoomed tweets this out, and it upsets some people. It says, what the Disney Star Wars sequels should have been like. And for those of you who are just listening, it's Mark Hamill leaned back in a chair, and there's a photoshopped image of Daisy Ridley. Is that how you say her name?
Yeah.
In a maid's outfit serving him a drink.
I'd smash. She's hot.
Really? I don't think she is. I think she's not like ridiculously ugly until you realize that when you do see her, she's got 9 pounds of makeup on to make her as slightly attractive as she might be. But I just find her to be rather, There's something about her face that bothers me.
It's the teeth. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I'm weirdly attracted to her.
Undoomed goes on to write a post telling us that he's argued with tons of different kinds of people online, and he's never gotten the kind of hate and death threats, actual death threats, that he received over this. And I want to highlight just this one because it made me laugh so hard. Star Wars isn't ruined, but it should be. Like, it actually should be ruined completely, just so you virgin freaks can fuck off finally and rope y'all selves. One, that is a weird overreaction to that joke.
Little bit.
What really made me laugh is that I see this a lot from the people who are defending Star Wars so passionately, where they'll accuse other people of being virgins. I'm like, you're so mad that this guy made a joke about Star Wars that you think he should kill himself. And he's probably the virgin of the two of you.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think that's how that works.
Are we sure that's the path we want to go down?
I'm with Faceless. This sounds like some e-projection.
It's just it's funny. That's such an insult. You're a virgin. And look, I've done it to people too, but it's usually people who are probably virgins.
Well, it's the internet.
You notice I've never said Nikki Haley's a virgin. And not just because she has kids, but because she, has kids by dad she's not even sure of. I'm just saying. There's times that it fits as a joke and there's times that it doesn't. And when you're freaking out over a pretty tame joke,
like Eufio.
Like Eufio, yes.
Good one involved.
Oh, that should just I enjoyed that so much. And if you're the kind of person who makes death threats or you should kill yourself over Star Wars, fuck. Just
real
fuck. Go ahead.
Real quick. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. Jack, have you seen Spain's newest member of parliament? If not, I will send you the article. I have not. Go ahead and send me that because I do not know about that. But did you see the modification I suggested?
No.
To the image?
I did not.
said that Hypnagogic Monk thankfully went out and did it. That Daisy Ridley should have been in blackface.
Oh, nice.
Because you got to go big or go home when you're messing with the race stands. Because race stands are fucking nuts. They're weird. They all think they're going to date Daisy Ridley or something.
Yeah, I don't get that. Again, I don't find her all that attractive.
She
has a vagina, so if it's like, hey, you want some vagina and I hadn't had any in a while, I'd probably do it. But it's not because I was attracted to her. It's because she has vagina. I like vagina a lot.
I know you do, buddy.
I'm pro vagina.
I am as well.
I'm pro monkey getting vagina.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Mighty Balzac. Celibate is.
Nice.
Celibate is what Nikki Haley does on a street corner. Actually says what hoes do on a street corner. Stop it. When I read that out loud, celibate, my brain immediately went, that sounds wrong, like the sentence is wrong. And then my brain went, damn it. Because I got the joke. Celibate is what a hoe does on the street corner. Thank you so much, Mighty Balzac. I appreciate that.
We could tell right when your brain figured it out. Like, oh.
Yep, it shut right down. Now, I want to put this up because it came up actually because I saw Christina Hoff Sommers retweet it.
Oh.
Yeah. And I didn't realize I still followed her because she's not that active, so I don't see her that often. But then I read this and it says, when girls came out and conservatives said Lena Dunham sucks, people only like her show because they're stupid. I always told them Lena was popular and her show resonated for a reason, and conservatives had to figure out why if they want to win. This is why.
Because they're a bunch of fat, ugly women that felt left out.
Well, this is what the person is pointing to. In light of that clip going around, and I don't know which clip it is, I've seen clips of girls, and that is a really bad show. But
that show's retarded.
In light of Girls going around, I hold the view that Girls was a reactionary masterpiece that, by virtue of its unflinching honesty, the hallmark of any good art, it could not help but reveal the truth about our world.
What truth? That fat, ugly narcissists make TV shows?
Yes.
Oh. It's interesting you did this right after the Star Wars thing, because Adam Driver played Lena Dunham's boyfriend on that show, and he was Kylo Ren.
Yes. Synergy. That show is stupid. It is. I said this on Twitter, repeating myself for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter. You really should. Links in the description. Girls was Sex in the City for ugly girls who couldn't pull off the emo vibe. If you ever go watch it, I mean, I watched a lot of Sex in the City because Lady Monkey was a fan, and I used to watch TV with her.
Yeah.
And as vapid and stupid as that show was, take that and just hate men unconditionally. Just hate them. There's a scene in that show where Adam Driver's some girl that he had told he loved her and then never called her again. Amy Schumer's in this scene, plays the friend of the jilted chick, and tells him that she knocked him up, which comes out in the same scene isn't true. And he's supposed to feel bad for ghosting that bitch. He's the horrible guy because he was mean to her. There's another one where Lena Dunham, she's talking to an ex-boyfriend of hers who has decided he's gay, and she grabs him and kisses him, which is kind of rapey, really.
Yeah, and conversion therapy.
Yep.
She's shaped like a potato and gets naked a lot.
The show wasn't funny. The only people that show resonates with are angry women.
And fatties.
Like I said, angry,
sorry, my bad.
Angry women, yeah. That's not fair because not all fat women are angry. There's some jolly fat women out there.
There are, and I like them because they're not bitter and they don't offend me. They usually wash too. Happy fatties shower.
Yeah, as long as you're clean.
I want to show you something, Monkey, because I have to share. It's like the Ring video. Dark Resurrect just sent me this. It's about Spain's first parliament member with the certain situation. She's got the downs.
Does look like it.
That's got the 10 head.
Yeah.
Size of that forehead.
She's the kind of person that could enjoy the show Girls.
Yeah, she's got to eat some bonbons though.
She's downsy. Yeah, you don't got to be fat to like girls. You can just be stupid.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Or retarded.
I don't know. Even downsy people are probably like, that's so stupid.
This notion, hey, you need to understand clear bullshit feminist propaganda if you want to win. No, you don't. You really want to win? Call that shit out. And don't let them badger you with it. Because that's all that show was. It was angry lesbian porn without the porn part.
Oh no, there was a lot of nudity in there.
Okay.
Dude, it was terrifying. Every time you look at the screen, you think something boring is just happening. No, there's a naked Lena Dunham. Ugh.
I said porn, not horror.
There's horror porn out there, dude.
Yeah, but I don't think even fat, angry, ugly lesbians could masturbate to girls.
No, I don't think Lena Dunham was probably the only one masturbating to girls.
Lena Dunham, I wish I'd had an abortion. Fucking whore.
She's such a sad example of humanity. Like, how much more pathetic can you get? You're so attention-seeking and desperate for some modicum of human contact that you're hoping and wishing that you could have had an abortion. That's sad, man. You're just pathetic.
Speaking of sad and pathetic, let's talk about Colleen Bollinger for a second.
Oh, okay.
Colleen Bollinger, we talked about her not long ago. I forget the name that she went by on YouTube that she got so famous off of. She played an annoying character with really weird lips who always over and exaggerated everything. She was like the female equivalent of the Jackass guys.
Oh, I thought you were going to go with Fred.
Or Fred, yeah. But she came out and she told us, Jack, that she lost a Broadway role because of all the online hate.
In her ridiculous apology video?
Well, the apology video, not so much. It's for the hate, but we have to talk about what the hate was for. As a grown-ass adult, Miranda sings. Thank you, Dangerous. Miranda sings. And anybody else who mentioned in chat. He's just the one I saw say it. Thank you, Dangerous. As a grown-ass adult, this woman sent her dirty panties to an underage fan.
Yeah. She lost a Broadway part for that. It's kind of surprising. Broadway's usually full of weirdos.
Right? You think that would have got her fast-tracked to fame in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you guys, I lost a role.
Yeah. Oh, I did nothing wrong. That's what I heard.
Yeah, you're a dirty, dirty person. And even if you never did it again, which I doubt, you did it. I was younger. You were still an adult. And you sent your fucking dirty panties to an underage fan. You had sexual conversations with fans all the time. And then you came out and issued an apology, which wasn't an apology at all. All you did is blame everybody else for pointing out the fact that you're a dirty whore who was being really inappropriate with children.
But it's everybody else's fault because they pointed it out.
The toxic gossip train. It wasn't gossip. It was really, you dirty whore.
Yeah. What is responsibility?
Oh my God. So we blew up some shit in Yemen, Jack.
Finally.
I'm
really shocked it took this long.
And I want to highlight Hassan Piker because,
of course,
why not? The United States cares more about the continuation of commerce than stopping the ethnic cleansing campaign in Gaza. This is the world police. Houthis have openly stated since day one that their blockade, by the way, day one being October 7th, that their blockade is the Red Sea is due to Israel's siege on Gaza and will end when Israel stops.
When Israel stops defending itself from people that broke into their country and started raping and murdering their citizens?
The Houthis have an official motto, Jack, and it's not as ambiguous as they claim from the river to the sea is. It's God is great. It's actually Allah is great. Mm-hmm. Death to the United States, death to Israel, curse the Jews, and victory for Islam. These are the people who all they want is that damn ethnic cleansing to stop.
They just want to be left alone to murder Jews in peace. What?
Subtle, right, Faithless?
I don't know. I think there's some wiggle room in there somewhere.
The Houthis have been over there in the Red Sea attacking shipping lanes, and the U.S. is like, no, this shit's no. And so the U.S. and the British got together yesterday and blew some of their shit up. And you have these fucking assholes out there. Like, how dare you? They've been firing at our ships. They fired at British ships. And I'm not even talking the commerce ships. They've been doing that. We chased away several. We killed a bunch of them the other day, Jack, with helicopters.
Yeah,
they were attacking what country was that from? Shit. They were attacking a ship that was heading into Egypt, not even heading into Israel. And they had 4 little boats out there, and we sent our helicopters out, and they shot at the helicopters. So the helicopters blew up 3 of their boats and killed a bunch of them.
Yeah,
but hey,
what dumbass shoots at a fucking attack helicopter?
Crazy Islamic zealots. That's who.
Did they really think they were going to bring it down with, like, rifles?
Maybe they played.
I mean, that works in movies, but
I said maybe they played GTA because you can do that in there. Lots of video games you can do that. And in fairness, you actually could if you got really lucky.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys shoot like stormtroopers from the sound of it.
Faithless says all just an excuse to be pirates. Well, it's not even the piracy thing here. This is religious zealotry is what it is. But yeah, of course, Hassan Piker's going to take up for the Houthis because they hate America, and so does he.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever met a terrorist organization that he didn't want to defend.
What else do we... Oh, CNN was bragging about their numbers the other night because they had the best cable news night, Jack, and they beat the networks with the debate.
It's kind of a low bar. Tucker does that on X all the time. The social media platform, not the drug. Whenever I say that, I follow people on X, it makes it sound like I'm stalking them on ecstasy.
True.
Follow them on X. Dude, look at the colors.
I can't bring myself to call it X. Every time I've tried, it just sounds weird.
Yeah, Yeah, old guy made a good correction. You can shoot down a plane with a shotgun, so it worked in Ukraine anyway.
There were several people who were talking about this Houthi thing and how there was this one British guy who had a video from a couple of years ago standing up for the Houthis, who, by the way, are horrible, shitty people. They're terrorists.
Yeah,
the only reason we don't call them a terrorist organization is because Biden took them off the list to suck up to them.
To suck up to Iran specifically.
True. And they're terrorist little shitbags, and fuck them. But this guy, he's like, Allah has said that those who are oppressed are going to rise up and be the rulers. And maybe that's what Allah said, Jack. I don't know. Me and him don't hang out. But there's another possibility, and maybe it's just Allah hates Houthis. That's why he's letting them get their ass kicked.
I don't know.
It seems to me that Allah really, really hates the people who follow him, because apparently they are getting just beat up all over the world.
I heard an interesting statement from somebody that is a sort of scholar of sorts. This writer said that there was a mistranslation from some of the early texts of Islam, and it's not 72 virgins, it's 72 dates, as in the food.
I've heard that translation before too. Way back in September 11th time. So yeah, there is some debate about whether or not they get a bunch of unused puss, or whether they get the dates that killed the monkey in Indiana Jones.
Raiders Lost Ark, nice reference. I was thinking there's gonna be this like 2 packages of Fig Newtons sitting there. There you go.
Any date, that is where I first heard the term date in a reference to dates, and it's the place I've seen it the most. So that's where my brain goes.
Yeah, makes sense.
I can't believe this guy. He blocked me, Jack. Okay, so there was a hashtag going around that says hormone replacement therapy saves lives, or trans something saves lives, right? Basically being able to be trans saves lives, right? And people were showing pictures of themselves both pre and post transition. And we're just talking social transition and some hormones. Not necessarily wieners cut off and gaping holes put in them. But the guy who posted it, his before picture, I don't know how old he was, but he was clearly at least 50. And then he shows the picture of him as a girl and has the nerve to put up there, it saves lives. And I asked him, like, how'd you survive the first 50 years of your life? Because at that point, honestly, you're on the downhill, but you only were able to live once you started dying. What the fuck are you talking about? But it's the kind of stupid nonsense these idiots never think of when they grab onto these dumbass hashtags and memes.
Well, we're not talking about the smartest people either, so.
Stubber, thank you, Monk. Unrelated, but check your Steam gifts. Petty Twitter drama made me charitable. Charitous. Thank you so very much. I'll check that out. I'm on my AT&T, so I'm not opening Steam while we're live, but I will check it out right after the show. Thank you so much. Retro gave me a game the other day. I'm really looking forward to playing. It's Rogue Trader. It's a RPG set in the 40K universe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've never played any 40K, and I've looked at tons of games, and like that looks like something I would play.
Yeah. I played one of the mobile games, Tactus.
I've never pulled the trigger on it, and he was kind enough to get it for me, so I will be checking that out.
Yeah, they've had some pretty good video games. Space Hulk was pretty good, and one of the Space Marine games was pretty solid. So,
Rogue Trader's good. I've heard good things, and the response to it has been excellent. It hasn't been out that long. Would it come out like last month, the month before, something like that?
Oh.
The game I gifted you is a game getting boycotted by Twitter by the trans crowd. It's a horror game that uses your mic. Oh, yeah, I would definitely check it out. And by the way, guys, that is a legit way to donate to Monkey. Just go over to my Steam and throw shit at me. My favorite gift at Christmas time is I have 3. The really heartfelt ones. You get about one of those a year where, you know, just one is like somebody's like, I was thinking of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's 2 gifts I get every year, and I love them. I get bags of peanut M&Ms because everybody knows I have diabetes, and Steam gift cards. They are my favorites. I fucking love them.
My favorite is cash because I'm poor.
That's fair enough. R.I.P. Coach Red Pill. Indeed, indeed. All right. Yeah. How'd you live those first 50 years?
Like an unblossomed flower.
Do I want to watch this? I kind of do. I'm not sure about the volume.
Huh?
Yeah, the volume's fine. We're going back to Vivek. I'm all over the place because we took last night off. We took last night off, Jack, because I passed out in my chair.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was sitting here. I had a Community on one screen, and I was playing some Red Dead on the other screen. I had my feet kicked up on the desk in my Snuggie, and I woke up like 5 hours later in that same position with my neck just sore as shit.
You know, if we ever hang out in real life and do a show together live, I'm going to buy a Snuggie just to wear on that occasion.
Oh, we should totally wear Snuggies.
Yeah.
Yes. I love my Snuggie. I'm not lying.
We have to find a place that will put our logos on the Snuggie too. So
yes, that would be awesome.
Right?
All right. So we're going to watch some Vivek because I love me some Vivek. And this is a video we would have watched yesterday and probably could have seen better because the satellite was working yesterday.
That was then, Monkey. It's the past. Don't worry about it.
If this is okay, and I'm just kind of curious on the previous question that you those 4 things that were provably false.
Yes.
And I'm just kind of curious. I know some of these guys. We've been following some of you guys. I'm curious if there's any national media who actually believe that they were wrong.
Actually, it's a good.
So what he's pointing to is that in part of Vivek's stump speech is several things that the media has gotten wrong, just flat out wrong. His biggest one, of course, being the Trump hoax or the Trump Russia hoax. That's the one he speaks the most about. But he's being asked, has the media ever admitted being wrong?
Question.
Vivek is not going to touch your wiener, Monkey. I hope not. But we might cuddle in my Snuggie together. You don't know he won't do that.
Eddie's one of the. You guys are colleagues, 2 of the top state reps here, and I think that's a good. It's a good thing to be curious about. Just by show of hands, who here is willing to admit that the Trump-Russia collusion hoax was indeed incorrectly reported by the mainstream media? Is there any-
Okay, we're going somewhere with this, but just how many of you reporters are willing to admit it was bullshit? How many of you guys are willing to? The answer to this, Jack, actually pissed me off a little bit because they do respond, or at least somebody responds.
Anybody here able to admit that was incorrect reporting?
It wouldn't be really appropriate for us to answer a question like that.
Why not?
Okay, he said it kind of low and really fast. The reporter said it would be inappropriate for us to answer a question like that.
Bullshit! Because they know they're fucking liars. It'd be inappropriate. Shut up, you fraud.
It would be inappropriate to correct the record from a journalist. Now we're not going to watch the rest of this. I'll throw it into chat, and you guys can watch it yourselves. But that was astounding to me that was the response.
Next time he does a presser with anyone from that station, wherever that person was from, CNN, whatever, he should say it would be inappropriate for me to answer that question.
How would it be inappropriate in any manner? It would be the most appropriate thing. Hey, we fucked that all up. That was wrong. Why do you think that you're not trusted as the press when you think it's inappropriate to admit you were wrong? He didn't even ask them to admit they knew it was wrong in advance, Jack. Just how many of you guys are willing to admit it was wrong? Thank you, Buster's Outlaw. You can call yourself the two guys in Snuggies. Have to Jack, please. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Buster.
I'll do a lot for our manly image.
Yeah.
I do wonder what people think I look like. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys had to describe me, not my voice or anything like that, close your eyes, and funny answers are appreciated too. But I'm very curious. What kind of build? I've described myself before, but what do you think? I look masculine, or that there's a feminine look to me? Do you ever wonder about that kind of stuff, Jack?
No.
Maybe I'm just too conceited where I wonder what people are thinking of me.
I look like a middle-aged nerd, so I don't really pay much attention to it. I pretty much look like you'd think I'd look like. He's probably fat and looks like a middle-aged man. You don't look like I thought you would look like.
Thank you, Bob Potato. As someone who loves Warhammer Universe and has played a lot of Rogue Trader, the good option usually results in the mass murder. Why are you spoiling? Of lots of innocent people. An important quote from the lore is, "Innocence proves nothing. Praise the Emperor." Fair enough. Why are you spoiling? How dare you? According to Bear, a blonde Luke Skywalker. Yeah, I am. I have a hairy chest. It's not like overly hairy to where you're like, ew, what are you, Iranian? It's not like that.
Yeah, you're not wearing a werewolf sweater, but you look like a man.
I'm masculine. Yeah. And I don't care if you guys think I look masculine or not. I'm curious because I do, when I know somebody only by voice, I get a picture of them in my head, and it's always wrong.
Yeah.
Like the first time I saw Dave Ramsey, I was like, no, no. No.
Yeah.
You look like a high school teacher. You sound like you should be president. What the fuck? He's got that very commanding voice,
Yeah.
But he looks like he should be teaching, like they should do a movie about him where don't call me Mr. Clark, call me Batman kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
As a history teacher. So you're not teen wolfing it? No, I'm not that hairy. I have an acceptable amount of hair. And by the way, for you guys out there who shave off or wax off all your body hair, stop it, you fucking little girls.
Right.
Unless you look like Steve Carell, in which case, dear Christ, at least trim it. I legit don't care. Like Medicare, you're a voice I want to hear. And I appreciate that. I appreciate it. But do you not get a picture when you hear somebody's voice? Or at least you get a picture of what they don't look like? Like if I had heard Brian Stelter's voice before I ever saw him, I would have thought he looked like Brian Stelter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he sounds like Brian Stelter. But if he sounded like Brian Stelter, the one thing I will say is I didn't expect Brian Stelter to be so tall. I expected him to be like 5 foot nothing.
Yeah, I expect him to be super short because he's got that squeaky voice.
Yeah.
Like squiggy.
But if that voice, if I'd heard that voice and then the next thing I saw was that voice coming out of the mouth of like Sam Jackson, I'd be like, no,
that's unnatural.
That doesn't work.
I'm going to do a face reveal real quick.
You look like an oldish, tall, out of shape, oddly proportionate, and grayish, gayish blonde hair. Yes, you're absolutely right. Oh, is that you?
That's me. Face reveal.
I don't know that I have my baby picture on here. I was an adorable baby. I really was. You're cute. You're cute, but I'm adorable. I was adorable. Monkey probably tapes his webcam off. I absolutely do.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but
I've accidentally turned my camera on before, so it's a good thing I do keep that thing covered.
You guys have never been close to my face that way though, because I don't use a laptop to stream. I have a laptop where I do streaming stuff, but or not streaming, where I do internet stuff. I don't use it very often, but yeah, the first thing I did was cover that fucking camera because I don't want the government filming me when I'm not paying attention. You guys will do it when I'm taking dick pics, and then and only then. Thank you. I'm not one of those people worried about them listening in, Jack. I hope the government is listening in.
Oh my God, they're going to be so embarrassingly bored. This guy talks to himself all the time. Yeah. Sing a lot too. And I'm sure they're all like, oh my God, make it stop.
On mine, it'd be like, is he talking about video games to that Satsu guy again? Like, yeah.
They're just going to think you drop things a lot, dude. What are you doing? Because I was like, oh, fuck, knock that down.
There's nothing they're going to hear from me. But I don't want them seeing me because I don't want Hunter Biden pictures of me floating around.
Yeah, I just assume that they're listening in. So sometimes I'm like, I got to poop to nobody. There's nobody in the house except me and the squirrel. And congratulations, NSA. It's what you're getting out of me. I had to poop. But you don't need to see my wiener out.
My phone is never in a position where you're going to get anything good if I'm like naked or anything. It's always face down. So even the back camera would just be filming the ceiling.
Well,
so at least there I still have control.
Yeah. Well, the camera on here is built in. And one thing that drives me up a fucking wall is laptop cameras because I'm tall. You get what a lot of people do. This is why I hate watching Eric July's videos.
Mm-hmm.
He tilts his head back and you see up the nose. I don't want to look up your fucking nose. It's weird. Fix your camera, move it up, and stop tilting your head back. But on laptop cameras, I'm tall, so it's always up the nose.
Cougar asked me if I would ever do a face reveal. I'm not opposed to doing it. It would actually help the show out a lot to have my face on here. And not just because I'm a very attractive man, but because people tend to watch things where you see the person otherwise. And it would really, really help with game videos because you guys have no idea my reactions there. They're funnier than they sound, honestly. But I would have to film from above, Jack, because I have a little upturned Irish nose. And for the very reason you just mentioned, I would put the camera slightly above me so that you're not looking at my fucking nose.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's just courteous.
I have that very cute upturned Irish nose, so I just don't think anybody wants to see my boogers.
I don't think anyone wants to see the things I do when I'm on stream because I fiddle with stuff, I play with things, playing with my phone, moving stuff around, editing audio. Sometimes I'm eating. Sometimes I just rock back and forth like a psychopath. Whatever. I do random shit with my hands because there's nothing to look at. I can't see the audience.
I talk with my hands and I'm quite expressive. You guys get it in the voice, but there's facial animations that go with this too that would that would serve us well just because this is a visual medium. But at the beginning, no, I never would have done it. These days, as old as I am, and I wouldn't care anymore. But for me, it's more a technical limitation because of the internet and shit. So is what it is.
I just don't think anybody's that interested in watching two old middle-aged men do stuff.
But we could put on beanies.
Oh yeah, we could do props.
We'd be famous, man. Just put on a beanie and never change it.
I would just start copying whatever Amaranth is wearing for the day.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
And
you know how hot I would look in some of those string bikinis.
Squeeze my man tits together and be like, "Look at this! I got my moob on."
Speaking of Amaranth, I was talking about her the other day. We have this new booby thing going on Twitch.
Yeah, they show nipples now, right?
I don't know. Do they show nipples now? This was when all of the just ridiculousness. They're not even hiding it anymore. These e-girls aren't even trying to pretend they're playing video games or being interesting. It's just like, look, I got big tits. Here they are. There's a little bar across them. But I went to look up Amaranth. She's not even really over there anymore.
Isn't she mostly on OnlyFans now?
Yeah, she's gone basically straight porn.
Is she actually getting plowed, or is
No. Softcore porn.
Oh, so it's just like her boobs.
I don't know if they show her vagina or not. I don't subscribe to any OnlyFans, and I haven't looked it up because, frankly, I find her proportion to be weird.
Yeah, I don't find her that attractive.
She's not that attractive. She's another one of those where you realize how much makeup's on there. You're like, oh, she probably looks like me when she takes all that off.
Yeah, and I'm not paying for porn.
But with Twitch, I saw a story, I think yesterday it was. Twitch came out and admitted they have never turned a profit.
Really?
Yeah, Twitch only exists because Amazon owns them.
Oh, I didn't know they were that bad off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't make that much money, and it with them admitting that out loud, it makes a lot more sense why they're leaning into the boobage.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Look, porn makes a lot of money, even softcore stuff. Look at Cinemax. Had Red Shoe Diaries on for like 10 years.
Yep.
So there's money in porn, whether it's just titty streamers or what. Cam girls are still a thing.
How could they make a profit?
No, how could they not make a profit?
Or how can they not make a profit? No, that says how could they make a profit? Or is it, no, you're right, not make a profit. Here's how. Because of the way those servers take a lot to run and maintain. You got to pay all your employees, the people who are actually employed there. And it's not like network television where you work it out in advance that we're going to pay our actors this much and we got to go out there and find the money to do it. What they do is they like, hey, we have this many people watching. Why don't you come advertise over here? And then you get an advertisement or an advertisement every 30 minutes or an hour, whatever the creator puts it up. If you go back and watch a show like, say, Friends, right? They were getting almost Super Bowl prices for commercials. You'd have a 2.5-minute block where people would each buy 30-minute or 30-second commercials. So you got 5 of them raking in millions of dollars, where Twitch has an ad coming in, which they might get a couple of dollars for. It's the same thing that happens here on YouTube. On YouTube and stuff, they do it more based on the amount of creators. They're counting on as many creators as possibly having ads on there because they only get paid when those ads are showed. It's kind of a backward system to how television used to work.
Yeah, you'd think they would charge like more money for certain creators, like the bigger creators.
And they do, because there's certain tiers of advertising you can buy. And so like you'll see the top tier stuff like a Coca-Cola or something on a not necessarily Amaranth, but like an Amaranth size channel.
Yeah.
But the other thing Twitch does is they split their donations with the or they give all of the donations to the creators. When you guys donate to us here on YouTube, we only get 30 or 70% of that. Susan takes the top 30. On Twitch, when you donate with the bits, the creator gets every bit of that. Subscriptions are split half and half, Jack. So there's a lot of money that comes through Twitch. It's not enough to maintain the business that they're running.
They should probably change that split then.
I think they would be better off if you're just being honest about it. It's not better for the viewer, but like Hassan goes out there and he does 8 to 10 hours a day, right? And he'll put up an ad when he feels the need to. 8 to 10 hours a day. If you did that on TV time, do you know how much fucking advertising there'd be?
Oh yeah, I know. That's true.
So what Twitch should do is like every half hour we're going to do a commercial or something like that if they really wanted to make money.
Yeah. Make it mandatory. Then you could schedule pee breaks.
The other option is to take a split of the direct donations, because that's how YouTube finally turned a profit.
Yeah.
It was with super chats. That extra 30% that they were taking from donations is why they were able to turn a profit. Anyway, we're going to wrap up here, Jack. We are at the 2-hour mark.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can tell, but things have gone crazy for me here. So I'm going to get off the internet. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links in the chat. As always, thank you so much for all the support you give us. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. But we appreciate all the donations and you guys just showing up. It's always fun. Chat's always great. You guys are awesome.
It Be Silly says 8 hours would be roughly 3 hours of ads. Yeah, and that's the difference. It really is. I appreciate not having to watch ads, but there's a reason streaming companies have different tiers where you sign up or you sign up for ad free, and they cost more for ad free because they got to make up that money. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry for the quick thing. I'm just getting really busy here, Jack. So
no, you're good.
Guys, thanks for watching. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
We'll see y'all next time. Take care. We love you. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
I could sing about what a whore Nikki Haley is. So I'm gonna. She takes all the dick, all of it, as much as she can get every night and day.